All right, you're live.
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon and welcome to the March 8th, 2022 meeting of the IRCA Executive Committee. We'll start by taking a roll call of board members. Just turn your mics off and say that you're present. Councillor Len Janice of Lakeshore. Oh, he's still just signing in, so we'll give him a moment. Deputy Mayor Larry Verbeek.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Joe Bacchetti.
Present.
Vice Chair Kieran McKenzie.
Present.
Welcome, and Len Janice is just logging on momentarily. Well, thank you. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that this land is the traditional territory of the Three Fires Confederacy of First Nations, comprised of the Ojibwe, the Ottawa, and the Potawatomi peoples. We value the significant historical and contemporary contributions of local and regional First Nations and all of the original peoples of Turtle Island, North America, who've been living and working on the land from time immemorial. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. I need a mover to approve the agenda for today, March 8th, 2022, meeting of the IRCA Executive Committee, moved by Deputy Mayor Verbeek, seconded by Deputy Mayor Bacchetti. Anybody opposed? That is carried. Hello, Councillor Janice, we see you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. No hearings. We do have a tender 2022 restoration material. Kevin Money will be able to answer any questions related to this report. Does anybody have any questions for Kevin Money at this time? Go ahead, Councillor McKenzie.
Just a quick one. Thank you, Chair. I guess just how many trees does this represent in total, and are we going to plant all of them this year?
Through you, Chair. This does not represent all the trees that IRCA staff are going to be planting. This also includes our over-the-counter sales to the general public. So every year the Conservation Authority receives orders from landowners to qualify for undertaking their own habitat restoration or wanting to, for instance, put in a windbreak or something like that. So a farmer can purchase trees from us to put in a windbreak, so some cedar trees. So it is a combination of our own restoration efforts as well as the over-the-counter sales included here.
Okay. I just, the reason I asked, I just want to, if I was to say, we're going to plant just under $100,000 or $200,000 worth of trees over the course of the next calendar year, based on the number that we see in front of us, is that like an accurate description to folks in the community?
Through you, Chair. Yeah, it's an accurate description that we're going to be planting or distributing all those trees. IRCA itself will be planting right now. It looks like we're forecasted to plant over 50,000 trees this year. As projects are firming up, that number is actually increasing. I know, for instance, we just secured some funding to do some tree planting in Leamington just a little while ago through a project with Hydro One. So there is lots still going. It's still a moving target. It's not going down though; it's going up. So it's good news that we're planting more trees and we're securing additional external funding to move forward with more plantings. The important thing associated with this particular report is that we confirm the suppliers of these trees and the approximate amounts. And then with direction from the board, these are the suppliers that we will work with throughout the entire season to supply us with these trees.
Got it. Okay. Thank you for that, Mr. Money. Thank you, Chair. I'd move the recommendation at the appropriate time.
Okay, thank you. Deputy Mayor Verbeek.
I guess I'll second it to get on the floor with the question. Kevin, what would be our income off of selling the seedlings?
I believe we make about $1 off of every seedling that we make. I'd have to look back at the fine details of it. We cover all of our costs, plus make a very modest fee increase. It's not significant as it relates to seedlings. As it relates to the large stock trees, it is more significant. I think we make about $8 per tree or something like that. And what that does is it subsidizes our own internal restoration costs, staff wages, things like that. So it offsets general levy.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Burney.
Madam Chair, if I may, Danielle, in our earlier discussions, you had identified numbers of trees. Kevin has highlighted that there's a significant number of different trees and for the town of Leamington. I believe there's some private tree plantings that we're going to be doing within the city of Windsor. Do we have that number as yet? Or are we finalizing some of those details?
Through you, Madam Chair, we are still finalizing some of the details, but we will be planting about 2,000 trees in near the WFCU Center for the returned Windsor Earth Day tree planting event. And then we're also working with the city forester to determine some tree planting locations in the town of Sandwich as part of the Bridging North America, the Windsor Detroit Bridge Authority project, which we were successful in getting a generous donation from them to plant trees in parks in the Sandwich area. So those are a couple that will be happening this upcoming spring. And then we'll, of course, as always, continue to look for opportunities to plant trees in the city of Windsor and in every municipality.
Thanks, Danielle. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. So the motion reads that the current restoration material procurement process, an estimated total cost of $181,165.75 be acknowledged and approved by the exec committee. And we had it moved by Vice Chair McKenzie and seconded by Deputy Mayor Verbeek. Is anybody opposed? Then that is carried. The tender for the John R. Park Homestead Condition Report. Kevin can answer any questions related to this report as well. Are there any questions arising from the report? No? Okay. Oh, yes, go ahead, Kieran.
Thanks. Thank you, Chair. I noticed this was, I don't know if there was a tendering process that was undertaken for this work, or was this particular firm the only one with sufficient expertise to conduct the work that we're looking at? Or I know that I noticed that they'd already done some of this work in 2007. So just looking.
Yes, Tim, go ahead.
Madam Chair. Yes, this is a renowned heritage architect. They had undertaken the previous work on the homestead, and the scope and scale of the update triggered us going back to that architect, ask them to refine and update the earlier report that was prepared, I think, in 2008, that had never been acted on. And so to expedite, we went back to the original architect, who is a heritage architect, and asked them to refine, update the earlier report.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any additional questions? Seeing none, then that the George Robb architect be appointed to prepare a current condition assessment report and recommendations per their proposal as described in BDO 222 for $34,400. Moved by Deputy Mayor Bichetti, seconded by Councillor Janice. Is anybody opposed? That is carried. We don't have any reports for approval. We are not going into the committee of the whole. Is there any new business members wish to address this afternoon? Well, I'm seeing none. Other business then, the next meeting of IRCA Board of Directors will be held on Thursday, April the 14th at 6 p.m. via Zoom web conferencing. So, well, this concludes our meeting of the IRCA Executive Committee today. Thank you for joining us, and would be needing a motion for adjournment. Deputy Mayor Verbeek, Councillor Janice. Anybody opposed? Okay, well, thank you all for your time.